So, Blue Beetle has released in the movie theaters, and as predicted, it did poorly. In fact, I have international numbers now, and it brought in a global total of $43.4 million. It's not good. It's very, very low. In fact, Morbius made more money than Blue Beetle did, at least at the domestic box office. But that's not good. That means that this movie probably won't get a sequel unless they really do keep pushing him. Like I said, apparently he's going to be in James Gunn's DCU. Who knows if that's true anymore, considering James Gunn seems to have been changing his mind left and right with things. First, it was supposed to be a younger Superman just starting his career out. And then he comes out and said he was never making a younger Superman movie, which makes no sense because if he was just starting off as Clark Kent, he would definitely be a younger Superman. And this, of course, has people frustrated with the whole Henry Cavill situation all over again. So James Gunn out there not really helping himself. Maybe he should tweet a little bit less. What's funny is all that dunking he did on Grace Randolph, and he's kind of like lost it now because of the way he's been tweeting. Trying to push these movies up, and it just doesn't work. Blue Beetle, though, what's interesting is people do seem to like it. 92% audience score, and even if you just go to all audience, it only drops down to 88%, which is still pretty good. That's a good audience score. Top critics, look at this, 76% all critics. But if you go to top critics, it drops down to 67%. I have seen the movie. It's not an awful movie. It's just generic. And I'm just tired of the same mediocre superhero movies coming out left and right. The only time that I enjoy a mediocre superhero movie is if it's a character I really care about. I don't really care about Blue Beetle. I don't even care about Ted Kord Blue Beetle, to be honest. I've never really been a Blue Beetle fan, and I don't think there's a massive contingency of Blue Beetle fans out there either. There are some. There definitely is a Blue Beetle audience. I just don't know if it's big enough to support a movie. They had it right the first time. Originally, this was supposed to be on HBO Max, and they liked it enough that they decided to put it in the theater, and that was a mistake. They should have kept it at whatever budget it was and left it on HBO Max because it shows that this was an HBO Max movie. The quality of the CGI and everything in it, you can tell this was a made-for-TV movie. It's what it was. I don't know if that's a big knock on it or not because there's some good stuff that go directly to streaming all the time, but it just was never going to be a big movie. It never was going to be a big, huge movie. People I think they're just tired of generic movies. I want to see, like, every one of these movies that come out should be special and big and quality and just a good time. Massive, massive quality improvements would be a good one. And to do that, it's simple. You release fewer movies. Okay. You release fewer movies. That is the best way to go about it. But these companies that just want to crank out generic bullshit. This is why superhero movies are going the way of the Western. But the good news is that, we'll get some good movies. They'll just be far and few in between, which I like, to be honest. So the real hilarious thing, at least to me, is up until the last week of this movie. Okay, now at first they never pushed this, but when the box office predictions were coming out that this was going to be a spectacular flop, there was a big identity politics marketing push for this movie. They started to put, you got to go see this movie if you want to see. They literally tried to hold Latinos hostage. Like, you want to see more Latino representation in theaters, right? Well, you better go see Blue Beetle. You might get less. Like, what is this? Seriously trying to blackmail your Latino fans? I'm surprised that didn't blow up in their face, to be honest, because Latino audience, if you get at them on Twitter, they'll come after you. Saw it with that guy that was trying to go after the Simpsons, and they were going after him hard. It's going to happen a few times now. And I'm surprised that they didn't get upset by that, because that was like, I was looking at that like, what the hell are you doing? But they were pushing this big time for this movie. It was all about, oh, you need to see this. It needs to be a moment. To the rap, the director, I think he was saying this, saying, us seeing a Latino superhero of our own in Times Square is something that if we're thinking about it, if we're think about it, is that even possible? Now it's happening. What about when Eternals were up there? What are you talking about? I'm sure they got a Times Square advertisement, and there were, at least Salma Hayek was in there, so that's already been done. But they really tried to ramp up the woke marketing for this movie, talking about colonialism, all these themes that displacement, colonialism, and gentrification. No, not really. The movie actually it doesn't have really any, if there are themes in it, they're so like barely a part of the plot that they don't bother you. I didn't think that this was that bad of a movie. I would give it a 6 out of 10. The problem is, like I said, it's just generic and it's too long. 2 hours is too long. I wonder if I would watch this straight through from beginning to end, if I would have liked it as much. Because I watched an hour of it on Friday, and then I watched an hour of it on Saturday, and that's how I watched the movie. And that made it a little bit better, but that first hour, it kind of drags in a lot of spots. This movie could have been edited down to an hour and a half. I don't understand this Hollywood trend to make things 2 hours. I think it's stupid. Let's bring back the 90-minute movie. Can we do that? That would be lovely. Movies like this should be 90 minutes. There's no excuse for this movie to be 2 hours. Anyway, that's pretty much it. DC having a bad day. Can't wait for Aquaman 2. Boy, oh boy, that is going to be fun. That's their last Zack Snyder-verse movie. After that, there's nothing coming for a couple of years. So maybe they can right the ship by then. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.